everybody. I don't know if you can tell from looking at me, but I smoke a lot of weed. The first thing that non-smokers usually say to me when they first meet me is, oh, be careful, you know, that's a gateway drug, it can be addictive, which is such bullshit. Because if we're talking about like levels of addiction, weed is on like the lowest level, if there at all. You know what I mean? If I leave a hardcore addict in my house alone, I'm gonna come home to no TV, no game system, and my microwave's probably gone too. If I leave a weed addict in my house alone, I'm gonna come home to all my cheese in my fridge is missing, and all of my lighters have disappeared into a couch abyss never to be seen again. Like, there's levels to this shit, you know? I actually have a little test so people can find out if they are a weed addict. If you have to smoke before you eat so the food tastes better, you might be a weed addict. If you have a favorite cough, you're probably a weed addict. If you lose your lighter, go buy a new lighter, and then later that night find 3 old lighters in your pocket, you're a fucking weed addict, and we can probably link after the show. I've tried edibles, wax, pens, all the things, but my go-to is a dummy thick backwood. It has to resemble Groot's fingers, otherwise it doesn't hit the same, you know? A couple years ago, I was at a party in California, and they were all smoking dabs, and my fiance asked me if I wanted to go smoke. And I said, yeah, because I'm a fucking weed addict, you know? So we go into the room, it's just a bunch of men wheezing and coughing, and the guy who's getting the dabs together, he asked my fiance how big of a hit did I want. He said, a chunky hit would be swell, because he knows me so well, you know? So the guy just starts busting out laughing with all of his friends, and he gets like this gumdrop-sized dab together. And if you guys don't smoke dabs, that's too fucking much. It should be like a pea. That shit looked like it came straight out of Shrek's ears, you know what I mean? But I realized this motherfucker thinks I'm pussy. All right, I grabbed the rig, I look him dead in the eyes, and I hit that shit like it owed me money. I inhaled that shit faster than some Costco stamps, and I know you motherfuckers know what I'm talking about, you know? Yeah, my favorite sport is outsmoking men. I'm like an NBA star of dab rips. You can call my ass the Blaze James, you know? I have grown since then. I just smoke flower now, but there was a time in my life where I was in college pursuing a bachelor's degree, having an occasional acid trip. Yeah, I'd be on the weekend just with my homies, chilling on the couch, just tripping balls, watching Shrek's eyes rotating clockwise, waiting for it to get normal again, you know? During one of these trips, I realized that time and space existed, and it was 4 a.m., and I got a class at 7 a.m. I got a 2,000-word essay due that I have not fucking started yet. So I lock in like a Sims on times 4 mode, and I got that shit done really quick. I go into my class, still kind of tripping, but it's fine, and I turned it in. The next day, I got my essay back. What do you guys think I got? F? You have no faith in me. I had an A. He even wrote, you have great insight. Why, thank you, sir. But the great insight had me, honestly. Yeah, sometimes I like to think about, you know, he was either high on acid, my professor, while he was reading my essay, or I'm just some drug-induced prodigy. Like, I just sit there and think about, he's tripping, he gets to the end, he's like, finally, somebody who fucking gets me, and then slaps the A on top, you know? I feel like everybody has a crazy first time they tried edible story, but nobody really talks about the crazy last time I ever fucking touched edible story, you know? So I got one for y'all. I was young, I was 16, you know, I was smoking for a while, you know? And I was unemployed. I ended up getting a job, but I was unemployed because of the hair color. Target, though, took one look at me in the interview and was like, her spirit's already broken, when can you start, you know? So I was like, all right, I'm working at Target, I'm a cashier, I'm chilling. And I had this master plan because my hair was really faded, kind of like what it's like now. And after my shift, I wanted to go to the hair dye store. I wanted to touch it up. I also happened to have a backpack full of edibles on me. If you're wondering why, to put it simply, I was a cashier by day and your own local Walter White by night, you know? Yeah, I was the kid that all the cool kids would make fun of and then in the same breath, clean out my entire inventory before first period with their daddy's money, you know? But back to the story, I'm chilling on the city bus, I'm on my way to the hair dye store, and I'm bored. I want to test my product. So I grabbed the most potent edible, is what I was told. It's a neon pink mushroom. And so I eat it, not an actual mushroom, chocolate, but it looks like a mushroom. I eat it, and I wait 30 minutes, nothing happens. This is where people who have done edibles know I fucked up in the story. I decided to eat 2 more. Let's go for it, you know? 10 more minutes go go by, my bus stop comes, and I'm like, all right, I'm cool, I'm chilling. I step off the bus, and I hear, smells, and taste colors, bro. I was fucking zooted. I was gone. I was all right. But it's fine. There's only a block between the bus stop and the hair dye store. If I keep my head down and I don't fucking look at anybody, I'll be good, all right? I actually surprised myself. I got there successfully. I picked out the right colors, all that, despite being higher than Giraffe's pussy, you know? It was when I left the store that shit started to get a little weird. So the paranoia started to kick in pretty immediately. I'm like, it's fine, just go. You got a block, you got this. And then I hear, boop. And I'm like, what the fuck? But I gaslight myself constantly, and I'm high, so I'm like, just keep it pushing. It's fine, you're crazy, you know? I keep walking. I hear, boop. I'm like, what the fuck is making that noise? I start looking around, and then I feel like a boulder-sized bee sting my ass cheek. So I go to turn whoever the fuck just touched me, I go to smack them, and I go and find 5 grown-ass turkeys staring at me. Yes, this is a true story. I hope you guys know that. I was high as fuck, but I know what I saw, all right? So I don't know how fast you have to be to outrun a wild turkey, especially 5 of them, but I did it. You know, weird flex, but okay. I got to the bus stop because I was fucking gone, all right? I get there, I sit on the bench. I am very overwhelmed. I'm very high. So I sit down, I put my headphones in. I'm so high I forgot to play music, but it's whatever. We're not gonna do it anymore. I'm chilling, I'm calming, and somebody sits next to me, and they're trying to hit on me. They're like, oh, you're beautiful, I want your number. I'm like, the turkey mafia just came for me. Just don't do this right now. I'm just trying to ignore them, but I can hear it's a female because I'm not playing any music. They're persistent though, they touch my arm a little bit. So I just look over, and I see these little legs dangling off the bench. I'm like, what the fuck? So I look all the way up. It's a little person just staring right into my soul, dude. Yeah, my own version of Little Susie, just trying to get in my pants, you know? So, you know, I just stood up and I said, the bus stop is obviously not for me today, and I just walked home. I was not doing it anymore. So whenever anybody offers me edibles, I just think about the turkeys trying to take Thanksgiving revenge out on my ass cheeks and getting macked on by a midget mama, and I'm like, I'm good. No, thank you. You know? Can't do it. It's not for me. I'll just stick to the backwoods. A little bit about me. You guys want to get to know me a little bit more. I'm actually from England. I don't have an accent because I came over here when I was 6. My mom is American and my dad's British. How they met is a very funny story. Again, very true, just so you guys know, buckle up. I'm fucked up for a reason, all right? So my dad was over here in America because he was partying with some of his American friends. And my mom was one of the strippers that they hired for a party that they're going to. Yep. My mom's stage name was Psycho Bitch. That's what they called her. So my mom's up on stage at this party, she's doing her thing. And, you know, no one's really paying her much attention, and strippers need to make their fucking money, so she got to whip out her signature move. So she decided to light her pussy on fire. Yep, that's her, Miss Psycho Bitch's signature move is to light her pussy on fire. This is facts. This is facts. I don't know how she did it, but, you know, logistics-wise, she managed, you know? So, you know, most people have love at first sight. My dad had love at first fire crotch, you know what I mean? So my mom gets off the stage, you know, she fucking killed it. You know, my dad walks up to her, she's like, I love you, you're amazing, come back to England with me. And she just looks at him up and down, she's like, your beard's ugly, I'm so good, you know? But he was persistent, just like the little person was to me, you know? He was persistent, he went to the bartender and he asked him to cut his beard off so he could get this woman, yep. And they did it right then and there, they ran off to England together, and proceeded to get married and have kids as if we had any chance of turning out normal after that, you know? It's kind of like when you get a pug and you've never had a pug for the first time, you know some weird shit had to happen for this pug to exist, but you're gonna act like it's a normal dog and just hope that it does what it's supposed to do, you know? Alright, I got some sports jokes. Do you guys like sports? Are you into sports?
Yes, sir.
I saw a couple people like, me too, I don't like sports. But my fiance does. So for the guys out there, you're still gonna find this funny, okay? He laughs very hard at this. I don't watch sports, but my fiance, he has his boys come over and they'll just be watching the game, and I'll be doing the dishes, minding my own damn business, and then I'll start to overhear what sounds like the gayest audiobook ever recorded. I'm like, is this the Vikings or the Fistings right now? What are we doing here? Like, sports commentary is very questionable. I don't know if you guys have sat down and listened to it, especially out of context, in a different room, just hearing that shit's like, oh, okay, we're getting down in there, you know? But I feel like it's very questionable, and I actually have a little game if you guys will play with me. You guys play with me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say a sports quote or a porn quote. You guys have to guess which one it is. So you yell out sports or porn, all right? I got 3 for you. First one, he's really giving it to him hard. That is sports, that is sports. This is a game of inches. He's coming hard and finishing fast. That's actually a porn quote, but you know, it could work for both. You guys all said sports, you know? So point proven, but congratulations, you all now qualify to commentate for the Super Bowl, or you can direct a scene on a black couch. It really just depends on how big the tight end really is, you know? Yeah, it's not just what they say that's questionable, it's also how they act that's questionable. Something about a grown man running up on another straight man and just like grabbing whole ass cheek doesn't seem very straight to me, you know what I mean? Like you're fondling it like you're chicken for breakfast, my boy. What are we doing here? Okay, I got one more little cheese ball joke. You guys want a cheese ball joke before we go? Alright, I love this joke. Alright, my friend recently lost her dildo. Yeah. So she decided she needed a substitution, so she used a potato. She calls it her dictator. Thank you guys. My name is Tanner. Have a great rest of your